So welcome back, friends. In this small subchapter, we will try and hit a key tenet, a key philosophy of Prophet Monk newsletter, which is total honesty and total transparency. So you will get total information on every single idea, every single trade since 2002. It doesn't matter whether it worked or not. So that's something that um, for us here is table stakes. It has to be provided in true transparency so that you as an investor who is using this information can don't just look at the future, but can also look at the past and say, okay, so yeah, you are telling me to go ahead and make this option trade, and you think it's going to be useful probabilistically, but what about your previous advice? Was that any good? So every single piece of information that comes on the web page never ever goes away. It stays there. So in the spirit of that transparency, I think we had a question in the last chapter, which was about the performance in 2008 crash, and why the 2008 crash, the performance of Prophet Monk newsletter was not, let's say, as bad as S&P 500. So here it goes. This is the answer for that. In one word, if I have to say, what happened there was ensuring diversity and keeping maximizing cash in hand. So let's first look at these graphs here. So this graph here, in the top half of the page, this one, so this part of the graph, it tells you two things. From 2002 all the way to 2016, and this is the same range for which you were looking at the performance of the trades in the last chapter, last video. There are, and this graph is for Swing Plus, you have two colors: green, which is cash in hand, versus orange, which is invested amount, and see how it goes. So when you are starting, okay, I would argue that you will have to invest a large percentage of your total portfolio, whatever you're committing to a particular strategy, to the market. So you can see the percentage, for example, here it's almost 50-50. Okay, so 50% orange, 50% green. So you don't have a lot of dry powder in hand during the initial part of when you're going through the strategy. So let's say if you have committed $20,000, there will be times when most of that money would be invested in the market, in all these ideas. But see what happens after that. Okay, so when you go after that, and as you go from 2003 to 2007, the percentage really goes down. So you can see the orange is becoming small. It's not too big in any of these, and it's not too big, and the green is the dry cash in hands. So see now what happens in 2007 and 2008. Back to our original question, the green is almost all of your money. So you have been holding dry powder, cash in hand, during 2007 as well as 2008. Very little sliver of orange here. You can see them, and that's what keeps you a happy investor. Keeping most of your portfolio in cash. So now why that happens, and you can see that the same concept repeats itself in 2007 and 2008 for milestone plus algorithm as well. So why is that? Why is that happening? Okay, you understand how profitmonk.com was relatively immune to 2008 crash, but why? Okay, so we will hit that part slightly later in a chapter about what is the investment philosophy, what are the investment principles that allow you to do this, that allow you to maximize cash in hand, minimize invested money, and makes you immune to flash crashes. Actually, in fact, you are getting a certain hint here already, so maybe we should discuss this. And this is the key: invest with momentum. This is a key word here, so I'll double and triple underline this right here. If you invest with momentum, and if you keep enough cash in hand all the time, which is basically the height of the green bars all over this graph, then you are immune to flash crashes, because once the crash happens, what Taleb and some other literature is now calling black swan events, once they happen, all the momentum is sucked out of the market. And once the momentum is getting sucked out of the market, you are not investing anymore, because because the newsletter is investing with a positive momentum only. So putting many things together here, maximizing cash in hand, minimizing invested money, investing with momentum, and be only a buy side player. Don't be a sell side player. And if you don't understand what that exactly means, maybe we will do another video about buy side player or sell side players. But the first few videos in this in these lessons should ideally give you what I mean. So when you put all these 3-4 things together, you have an investment philosophy, an investment idea that keeps you safe and that gives you much better profits than just remaining invested in S&P 500. So we will be back soon. Have good learning.